1 point. That was the official difference between a quadruple Lutz and a quadruple Axel. A quad Lutz was worth 11.50 points. A quad Axel was worth 12.50. On the score sheet, they looked almost equal. But in reality, the difference between them was much greater than 1 point. A quadruple Lutz requires 4 rotations in the air. A quadruple Axel requires 4.5. Because the Axel takes off facing forward and lands backward, the skater must complete an extra half rotation before reaching the ice. Half a rotation may not sound like much, but when the entire jump happens in less than 1 second, that extra half turn changes everything. The skater must jump higher, rotate faster, keep the body tighter, maintain a stable axis, and still open at exactly the right moment to land on one blade. There is almost no room for error. A small delay at takeoff can leave the jump under-rotated. Opening too early can make the skater land while still turning. A slight change in the air can turn the landing into a fall. And yet, the scoring system rewarded all of this additional difficulty with only 1 extra base value point. The potential reward was small, but the potential loss was enormous. At the Beijing Olympics, Hanyu's under-rotated quadruple Axel earned only 5 points. A clean quadruple Lutz could earn more than 3 times that amount. So strategically, the safer choice was obvious. He could have used a jump he already knew how to land. He could have protected his score. He could have increased his chance of winning another Olympic medal. But he chose the Axel, and that leads to the real question. Why would a 2-time Olympic champion risk an entire program for a jump worth only 1 additional point? Hanyu had already won everything he once dreamed of winning. He had won Olympic gold in Sochi. He had defended it in Pyeongchang. He had already proven that he could become a champion. The quadruple Axel was not something he needed in order to validate his career. But perhaps that was exactly why it mattered. After achieving the highest possible victory, another medal could add to his record, but it could not give him a completely new destination. The 4A could. It was the one challenge that remained beyond his reach. It was uncertain, it was unfinished, and unlike the victories he had already achieved, it could still defeat him. Most athletes build their strategies around reducing risk. They repeat what works. They choose the elements that offer the best balance between difficulty and reward. But Hanyu was no longer choosing only the safest route to victory. He was choosing the challenge that gave him a reason to keep moving forward. Choosing a safer jump might have protected his score. Choosing the Axel protected something else, the meaning behind his skating. This does not mean he did not want to win. He understood exactly what the attempt could cost him. He knew that he could fall. He knew that he could lose points. He knew that millions of people could watch him fail. And he attempted it anyway. That is what makes the moment important. Courage is not taking a risk because you believe nothing can go wrong. Courage is understanding everything that can go wrong and deciding that the attempt still matters. The official result recorded an under-rotated quadruple Axel. It did not become the first fully landed 4A in competition, but the attempt revealed something that a clean score sheet could not. Hanyu was willing to be seen trying something he had not yet mastered. Not after it became safe. Not after success was guaranteed. But while failure was still possible. Officially, the quadruple Axel was worth only 1 point more than the quadruple Lutz. But he was never risking everything for 1 more point. He was willing to risk the points for something the scoreboard could never measure. The chance to pursue the limit he had chosen for himself.